career choices we grew up with don't work for our kids anymore. We were advised that career choices like engineering, medical, law are all safe choices. They provide stability. And for our kids, especially growing up in an age with AI, that's no longer the case. So how do we as parents navigate helping them, guiding them through these multiple choices in this ever-changing world?
Hi, welcome to yet another episode of Chai in the Bay, where we unpack modern life over a cup of chai. I'm here with my long-term besties and co-hosts, Shipra and Manisha.
So if you like our content, please go ahead and comment and tag somebody who will benefit from it.
So I got to thinking about this particular topic, especially because I was reading this book, Whispers of the Buried Past, from the author Harshali Singh, in which the main protagonist Dheeraj is someone who wants to be a chef, but his father wants him to take over the family business. Now, I know a lot of families have this tension, not exactly this conversation, but there is loved ones and kids who want different things because their choices are different. And there is this tension of whether to choose stability, whether to keep up with the family legacy, or whether to find your own path, trying to balance all these things. So why don't we talk about this in terms of, where we are with our parenting journeys, and especially in a world where our kids have choices that we don't understand.
Yeah, I would say it is definitely a very relevant topic. And witnessing this whole AI thing unfold in front of our eyes, it is both empowering and scary, to be very honest. I do worry a lot for my kids, especially because, this is just starting. Our kids are just starting, not even starting, like they've not even gotten into the workforce yet, right? And the rate at which things are evolving on a day-to-day basis, it's just mind-boggling, right? I don't know if you guys heard, like there is this now new model from Anthropic, which now has the potential to take down the entire internet, right? Internet has been the foundation of our career, right? Like that's what is the backbone of everything that we do. And so if our kids grew up studying on that backbone, on that infrastructure, now if that infrastructure layer itself is being challenged, it's just so much unknown essentially. So, I think that's where my feelings are. And, both from an AI standpoint, and I would also say that the world that we are living in, just the whole geopolitical instability, the combination of the two makes me very nervous for them. And I don't think I have an answer to that. This is something I think about a lot, to help them prepare for that uncertain future, because none of us know what that future looks like. So what kind of skills, what kind of, essentially skills that they can potentially develop to survive and thrive in that future. We can definitely talk about that. But if you were to ask about my feelings, I feel it's both empowering and nerve-wracking at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Deepa?
Yeah, it's a complicated world where we are today. But before even, I wanted to say the book sounds interesting. Yeah, thanks for bringing it to our attention. I probably should give it a read. Yeah. So I don't know. It's not like I'm still waiting. Like I have two daughters, right? Like for the first one, it's more like letting them, hey, okay, what is your passion? Choose and whatnot. And that's how it was. And thankfully, my daughter did not say, hey, I want to do something adventurous or something that's like a non-traditional career choice.
She doesn't want to be a trapeze artist.
So I didn't have to make any hard decision. But with the second one, it's very interesting because before even we talk about choices, let's take a step back on how the choices are made here, especially in US, right? I don't know about how things work in India these days or in other countries. While there is a lot of freedom here in college for you to try different subjects and learn various fields, it sounds like there is a flexibility. But it's also on the opposite side. In order to get into a college for a particular major, you also have to build this profile when you are in school itself, even from middle school, right? Yeah. It's a very conflicting place to be, because at that point the kids don't even know what they want. They don't know, even if you mention a particular field, they wouldn't know what would a career look like in that field, right? So then you are already like forced to be in a spot to build a profile towards a career choice. I don't know.
So they're being forced to pick up a stream or a passion for the sake of it, because the system essentially demands it, that they should have a passion, because if you don't show a passion, then you have no chance
before even they know whether they're passionate or not.
Exactly.
But actually that is a very good question, and that prompts me to think about how both of you have guided your kids, right? Like you want them to pick a lane, but you don't want them to, like, you want them to also have the flexibility within that lane to figure out what they want to specialize in.
Yeah, right? Actually, again, I could be somewhat controversial in saying that, but one thing which really I found very impressive when I migrated to United States is this aspect of that people over here, they have multiple careers. And I found it very, very interesting and very, very impressive. So even before I talk about kids, just like thinking about myself, I have seen people who, they were in military and then they became full-time software engineer. Mm-hmm. Such two different, careers, if you think about it. Somebody who's now choosing to study medicine in their late 40s, somebody who's trying to be an entrepreneur when, they've turned 50, things like that. And I think there is something very powerful in that. Okay, because as humans, we are constantly evolving, changing our surroundings, our environments, our priorities, our preferences, our interests, they're constantly evolving. So I personally find the idea of identifying a career and sticking with it and committing to it lifelong, it just doesn't work for me. Like I have personally gone through a career change. Now, I would admit within technology itself, but nevertheless, a big career change. Okay. And so when I think about our kids, I think about it in a similar manner, in that, the system demands that you, at least at this point in life, before you get to college, you demonstrate your interest and passion in something. Okay, wherever you can show that passion, do it. But don't also, and I have seen this with my son, because we had a lot of back and forth arguments on this, where he was like, why am I, showing interest in something? I don't see myself doing this. And then we were like, okay, but, if you don't show that consistency of profile, then, unfortunately, the system will not let you, get into a good college. So, you have to show that consistency and depth in certain area, but just rest assured, that is not to say that you have to commit to it lifelong. And that changed the conversation completely. Once they know that they are not caged into that, and that they have a choice and flexibility, even at a college level or beyond that, to continue to transform, to continue to evolve, I think that is very liberating, and it, puts things in perspective as well.
Yeah, and maybe that is what it is, right? Maybe it is the adaptability as a skill we have to teach our kids, especially in this very quickly changing world, where it's not going to be pick your lane and you have to stick with it forever, but how are your skills going to translate from one career to another, right?
100%.
That is the
but that is the new normal, is what I'm saying. These days, it's not even a choice. Like Shipra, how you said, I like that. It's not about it's the standard going forward. If you like in our times or in times before, if you pick a lane, you don't need to learn afterwards. It's like learning comes on part of the job. It's not like you are upskilling. Those things were not a requirement, or it was part of the tech field, but not in all the other field, right? Like there will be some training as part of the job or whatever. It's not like you have to feel the need to, I need to do this, learn this, to do certification. You know what I mean? But now you have to be a long time or a lifelong learner, right? That
lifelong
is
learner.
Our kids have to be.
Yes.
Right. It's so, there is no committing to life, because even if you are ready to commit to life, I don't think the job will keep you committed to life.
Exactly. Yeah. It's both internal and external. Right?
I was actually reading an article recently that Gen Z is the first generation which is not sticking to a full-time job. Most, like, around, I don't remember the number.
We should take that with a grain of salt. I have some feelings about that too.
No, but then if you think about it, right, like the loyalty, like we grew up in a world where loyalty was everything.
Yeah.
And you saw people stick to the same company for 15-20 years, but that is not the case anymore. The company is not invested in you in that way, or these jobs are not invested in you in that way. So the new generation has adapted and realized that they want to have that diversity, right? They want to have those multiple jobs that you are talking about, and that is what safe is now, because if you don't have that, you don't have that sense of security that you will have
I think there are pros and cons of it. There has to be a balance. Okay, so this particular thing about Gen Z, there is the other end of the spectrum on this. So on one hand, you want to have flexibility and adaptability, and allow yourself to evolve and change with times and circumstances and whatnot. But then the other side of it, which is, in my viewpoint, a not so good side of it, is also being very fickle-minded. So the thing is, like, no matter what job, even if you're passionate about it, if you don't give it your 110%, if you don't put in the hard work, if you don't bring dedication and sincerity to it, you can fail at something that you may be just naturally and inherently very good at, right? So not committing to anything and just constantly jumping from one thing to another in the name of flexibility is also very, very dangerous, right? And that is what I see as an issue sometimes as well, wherein if you think that you have choice, this is a human nature. If you think you have choice, that becomes an excuse to not give your 100%, whether you are just flipping jobs from one job to another because you just got here, and when you go to a new job, there is a honeymoon period for first 2 to 3 months, and then things start getting harder 1 year down the line. But as soon as they start getting harder, then you're like, oh, I'm not liking this job, there's something wrong with the job versus me putting 100%, so let me go and find another job. Like, you see people like that,
so it's
non-committal.
100%. So I think that when I think about the conversations I have with my older one, who's now at that point of, okay, we need to figure out what what direction you want to take. One of the things that we are talking about is very much, are you going to, are you passionate about doing this? Are you passionate enough that even when things get boring, like you're saying, like, the honeymoon period is over, that you will still stick with it and want to continue doing this. But the thing within that constraint of this is the direction, within that there might be multiple different things. Like you said, you changed your job even within, like, you stayed within the umbrella of technology, but within technology you shifted things. I think most careers or most umbrellas of career choices will offer you that, and you should, like, I think our kids need to have that flexibility or adaptability, the skills that are required to jump from one to the other based on where there is a demand, where there is a need, and where they will get the stability or success that they are looking for.
So there is also another dimension to this, which is, now you can't just focus on a single field. AI is pretty much revolutionizing all the fields, right? And already automation, our computers and tech is, widely used everywhere, but now it is going to the next level. So for example, if you go to doctor's office, they use AI tools to record the conversation, things like that. So everybody needs to know what are the tools available in my field. So as kids, even if they are, okay, I think I'm passionate about this field, they should think about it, study about it, but they should also be prepared to, okay, that's not only enough. I also need to get myself up to date on using the tools, have some level of tech knowledge. Even there is no tech career. So that is a kind of it adds more complexity, practically speaking.
So you're saying not only do you go pick medicine and if that's what the child wants to do, you don't just go and be a doctor. You also need to know how to use technology to make you better at your job.
I think that is definitely an imperative. It's actually interesting because my almost 80-year-old dad, he called us the other day. It was his birthday, and then he likes to talk to the grandkids. And then he just went on like a 10-minute spiel to my daughter about how she should learn how to use AI. Because he's been reading about it everywhere, and he's here, so he's reading about AI so much. And she's like, "How are you using the AI? You make sure you're using the AI."
Same thing. The incident happened with my daughter. She's at college. She hosted a hackathon yesterday, and I was asking about it. Okay, how many teams won? And she was like, 3 teams won. And she was like, you know what? Interesting thing happened. The third prize was won by the team members that are not tech majors. They are non-tech majors. They participated in the hackathon and won the prize. Look at that. For that to have happened, they not only focused on their own track, but they learned and they were curious enough to participate in a hackathon and won a prize. I mean, you have to recognize talent, right?
Absolutely.
So in terms of, succinctly put, in terms of skills, I suggest to my second daughter now, even the first one, I mean, it's not over yet. She's still in college, is like you said, you need to be adaptable. But before even you need to be adaptable, you need to know what to be adaptable for. So be curious and look out what's happening, not just take something, I'm going to just, bury myself into it. No, that's not going to work. Be curious and observe what's changing in the market, what kind of tools, and take some time to play with it. It's not like, I got into this, now I'm content, I'm going to have fun, but spend some time specifically for learning and watch out. So the flexibility, I think it exists in the job, but you really have to be like, wise in terms of figuring out how did I spend enough time here, there are other options here, like those things we can't advise now, and they can't know what to do now, but at least if they develop patience, perseverance, adaptability, learning and curiosity as basic skills and habits, I think that'll drive them towards success.
So
is
I think that makes sense. What about communication? Right, in a world where AI is definitely prevalent, it's here to stay. I don't think that is the question here, right? What role does having really good communication skills plays to make a child successful in the future? Do you think that is a important skill to have?
Absolutely, right? I mean, communication is always important, no matter what, right? Whether it is AI-driven world, but the only challenge now is, I feel like all the tools that are available are kind of coming in their way of using their own
you don't have to write your letters or emails anymore. Every time you even write a text message, you consult ChatGPT. How should you write your text message? Your LinkedIn post is influenced by ChatGPT, virality, this, that,
but
and
schools
all that.
have the AI flag, that, right?
I know,
I'm glad they have that.
They have that, but how much longer is the question? How much longer is the question? Because I was talking to my nieces who are in college doing masters. At master's level, the professors are actively encouraging them to use AI. So all of their project reports, etc., they are compiling using AI. School also, I know my daughter has come back and told me that, kids, there are some kids who are so much into Claude that their home screen is just Claude at their fingertip, right out there. It's right there. And kids have been caught, in school. But that's just telling us that it's just a matter of time that maybe the teachers and professors will have to relent and accept this as, just like you in the classroom, there is there are bulbs, there are tube lights, there's air conditioning, that is the basic infrastructure of life. If AI were to get to that level, which seemingly so, then maybe.
I don't know. I have a conflicting take on that one.
So when I was talking communication, I was, of course, written
Oral
communication and all.
communication.
It is more human to human communication, right? Like if I think back to, or if I now think about what is considered a stable, future-proof career.
We should talk about, you use the term stable a lot.
Yeah.
So let's talk about stable. Is there really a stable career thing at all? I don't believe so. I don't think that there is any such thing as a stable career anymore.
It's more about future-proof, right? Is there going to be a need in the next 30, 40 years? Will this job still exist, right? When we were growing up, or, when we were picking our careers, the engineering, medicine, law, all of these were considered stable. Like you would get a good title, you would get a good income. There's always going to be a need for a doctor. There, engineering technology was booming, so there was never a doubt that you would not.
I personally
be in
don't
those
think that
things.
there is going to be any such thing as a stable
You don't
career.
think there is? So
No.
what is there any sort of skill set or field
you will
that
need
will be
skill
considered?
set for you to earn money to support yourself, and that skill set will allow you to move from maybe one job to another kind of job altogether. We don't know what those jobs would be, but that's the skill set that will allow you to adapt and adjust
So
and
what
learn.
are those skill sets apart from adaptability, curiosity, let's say communication, human to human communication?
Sure.
What are some of the other skill sets? Like I think another one is decision making. You will always need a human in the loop to make decisions, right? Even though there is information and knowledge and data, now it will become more critical about what decisions ethically, morally, that a human in the loop, I'm like using the cliche term, human in the loop, like you will need a human to make some decisions.
It depends what kind of decisions or how many. I'm pretty sure already we are on the way of automation. I mean, okay, come on, guys. Have you been watching out? Like we are talking about agentic teams now. A leader in the tech is one of the tech leader was saying, "Hey, I envision my leader to be managing agents."
Yeah.
So they are managing agents. so I
So
don't know
they're
about
orchestrators.
no, but
And
so
they
the
are
way-
really
the
managed.
manager.
so the IC and manager. So the VP will be directly managing agentic teams. So they'll have multiple teams. All the teams are agents basically, and one agent will have sub agents or whatever. I don't know. World is going somewhere. But here is my thing. Take on it. When we talk about stability, it's about some job roles may not even exist. Okay, it will go away.
Yeah, they don't
But-
exist today.
Like some of them went away, right?
Yeah.
Like more may go away. But even if on the roles that may exist, again, the stability won't be present because maybe that person may not be able to hold it. Like earlier, people used to work 35 years on the same job,
Yeah,
right?
now
You
that's
can't
not
maybe
the
do
case.
that. The stability will be affected. Maybe the more new blood will be taking the job or whatever. So I also think that we can't think in terms of stable career, right? But what we can think of is in terms of what are some things that will for example like doctors, medicine, that's going to be there. So that is not going to vanish. Maybe there will be robotic assisted surgery or tools will play, but will the profession be there? That stream would be, yes, of course. And as we talk about AI and automation, of course, tech is going to be there. So it's just a different flavor of what it used to be. So our kids have to really think, okay, am I passionate enough to, learn all this, be like ready to change when, that's the hard question actually. Another angle to that is, as we talk about it, we are still figuring out AI. There are so many aspects of it that are not even, and we can't, like everything has a small print, like don't trust everything. Right? So in that world, then then the way our kids have to learn is you need to learn to do things manually without tools as well. It's like the other day I was saying, right? Like you have a fully automated car, but you should know basic driving because automation fails or something happens, you should be able to take over like that. Our kids, that's why I was saying that when the schools flag AI, I mean, I like that because our kids need to know basic communication. If Claude doesn't work, if things suddenly stop, still they wouldn't know how to communicate. That we don't want that, right? They need to have the basic. So that means they need to learn both the things today. They need to learn how to do it without the tools. They need to learn the tools. So it's complicating.
It is. While I agree with you, again, I find this a complex question to answer as to what is it that they should learn. Okay, for example, my son over the summer he codes a lot, so I told him, hey, are you using all of these new tools, windsurf, cursor, etc., to do your coding? Seems like that increases productivity, so if you have a project in mind, you should try and using that. And he pushed back. He said, no, I don't like using these tools. They take away the joy of the coding away from me, so I just like to code it myself. And then he was doing coding. But then I know that, at work, my software engineering teams, they are using these tools for, helping them be more productive. And I asked them and they said, yes, we are definitely more productive by virtue of these. So going back to your point, on one hand, yes, I can agree that they should know how to do things, but what things are those is still a very big question, depending on what remains relevant in the future world. So
I'm curious, how does creativity change, right? Like, are we going to just not have any more authors or writers? I mean, there's already books being written.
AI authors, yeah, right. And there are studies and research that say creativity is also overrated, or the fact that only humans can be creative is also overrated.
I do think creativity has a place, and at least it has a place in life. Come on, you can't just study and learn everything for a job or earning. You know what I mean? There is a life beyond that work, right? So I hope and pray that some of these things that require human touch or that add human touch to life, it stays.
Yeah.
I do want to maybe quickly address the skill part. So in addition to everything that we have discussed, right, I also emphasize a lot on discernment and problem solving. Because we are surrounded by, or we have this ambush of so much information coming our way on a day-to-day basis, it's overwhelming. And to have that something in your brain to help you discern what to enact, what to absorb, what to treat as noise and shut out. I think that's also going to be important because
isn't that decision making? Human decision making at the end?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can call it decision making.
And I think it's not just for kids; it's for us.
It's for us too. But they will need it even more.
So I'm curious. So what happened in the book? Did the guy become chef or took a family business?
Well, you have to read to find out. At the surface, the book is bringing up the topic of the career choice of being a chef, which is a very non-traditional career in the time that this book is written. But at a deeper level, the bigger tension that it's surfacing, that Harshali Singh is surfacing, is about that emotional pressure that a child might feel to keep up with legacy while figuring out who they are and their own identity, but also picking a career that might be very different from what their loved ones want from them. Mm-hmm. So that is what sort of attracted me to this topic in the book, which is only one of many things that are in there, and I won't reveal too much so that everybody goes and reads it. But today's discussion, for me, my takeaway is absolutely, as a parent, my job is not to tell my kids which path to pick. It is to provide them with the guidance, show them the opportunities, let them explore in a safe environment, and help them understand that in case they fail, we are here to catch them. Yeah. Keep them grounded and be that umbrella and shield for them in case they need us. And I think that's the best way we can support them as parents. Right?
All right. And on that note, let's go to our fun little rapid fire round called Chai Shots. Question 1. If your child says, I want to be a YouTuber, your first reaction is follow your passion, What's the backup plan? How much do they earn? Let's talk after exams.
Yes, let's talk after exams.
I think so too. Let's talk.
Right. The most confusing new job title you have heard: prompt engineer, AI content strategist, creator economy consultant. Something I nodded to but don't understand.
Oh God, I hadn't heard about creator economy consultant. Wow,
Yeah,
this
this
is
is a
like
new
a
one.
mouthful. I cannot understand still.
No.
I will have to think about it to understand what do they potentially do.
Yes, I think that's the one for me
Right,
too. It's
yeah.
the first time I'm hearing this word.
Your child wants to skip college and start a startup. Okay, your reaction is bold. I support it. Let's keep college as a backup. Absolutely not. Depends on the idea.
You go first. I have my thoughts.
Keep college as a backup.
I mean, I have honestly, I know this is rapid fire, but we have had this conversation in our house several times. And for me, my vote is always as much as you can do both. Like, college degree is still important. Maybe that's the very, immigrant Indian mom of me, but a college degree has to be there. You can do all of these things,
Simultaneously do
figure
it in
it out
parallel.
how you're
Yeah.
going to do them together.
Yeah.
But college degree is non-negotiable.
You will add more complexity, basically.
I will make the life hell.
Trust an Indian mom to make the life hell.
I have to live up to the legacy.
Okay. If you have to pick one career choice for your kid, if you are picking it, okay?
Do I have that opportunity?
That's why I'm giving you a virtual one.
Dream on.
A stable job with steady income, or a passion-driven career. High risk, high reward startup. Something that doesn't exist yet.
Oh my god, that's a tough one.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm like, just do whatever. Just make yourself independent.
Yeah, I think whatever gives them the financial stability.
Yeah.
Like ultimately,
So basically,
that's
stable
it.
job with steady income.
Not stable,
Not a
stable
job.
Not stable, but remain employed enough to earn your livelihood.
Yes, I mean it can come from high risk, and if that's what, what
That
helps
sounds like a
them.
technically correct answer. None of the option. There's no
None of your option work for us.
Exactly. See, we're talking about future. We have not even figured out the present.
Okay, one last question. If you are starting your career today,
Oh.
Like as in us.
yes, like you are
man.
starting now. So you would learn AI tools early. You will build a personal brand. You will focus on one strong skill. Try multiple things before deciding.
I think I would build my brand first. I
Try
think that-
multiple things before
Oh,
deciding.
really?
Yeah.
Shipra, I can't make up mind.
I cannot make up my mind.
All right, and that wraps up our chai shots. Spicy, a little chaotic, just the way we like it.
So, how are you guiding, advising, counseling your children as they embark on their career journey? We would love to hear about it.
We will share the details of this book in the description below if you'd like to read it for yourself. And if you haven't yet, please follow and subscribe and hit like on our video. Together, let's keep this community growing.